working. If you're seeing this means that everything went right. There's the possibility that everything goes wrong. I'll detail a lot of things in this, but this is the first episode of my Supersonics historic franchise, my NBA era mode. I don't know what the hell this is going to be titled, but obviously if you're watching / reading the title, you'll know by then. Like I said, a lot can go wrong. I will try my best to detail everything because there's a lot of confusing things that can / more than likely will happen during the course of this. But essentially, the main idea, I'm going to keep the Seattle Supersonics in Seattle. I don't plan them leaving to go to Oklahoma City. With also doing this, I'm adding the what if factor because it's something that I have thought about a handful of times. What if Kevin Durant played with Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis? Because Kevin Durant's rookie year, they ended up trading draft night and later on ended up trading Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis, and Kevin Durant did not pair with those two. With that being the case, a lot of things happen. You know, the butterfly effect, you go back in time and change one thing, a lot of things change. So, two that come to mind, mainly one comes to mind, but there's another one that we'll get to in a little bit later. But Ray Allen was traded to the Boston Celtics, and then the Celtics ended up trading for Kevin Garnett and formed the Big Three, starting the whole super team Big Three era. We're not going to get completely into it, but without the Celtics being able to trade for Ray Allen, because in this situation scenario, he's staying with the Supersonics. What the hell happens to Kevin Garnett and him staying with the Timberwolves? So, he ain't staying with the Timberwolves. So, in this first episode, I'm controlling the Supersonics. I obviously went the wrong way. The Timberwolves, and spoiler alert, the Trailblazers. Why am I doing that? Because I'm going to end up trading Kevin Garnett to a different team. So that's why I'm the Timberwolves. And the Trailblazers have the double whammy. Because I need Kevin Durant on the Supersonics. Hindsight, 2K, more than likely would draft Kevin Durant if this was just auto-simulated and all that crap. So that's why I'm controlling the Trailblazers. That way they still select Greg Oden. But I'm not controlling the other 28 teams, 27 teams. They can draft whoever the hell they want. And I spent a lot of time, and I have the draft order, how it was on, I forgot the exact website, and then I tried to exactly double down and what the hell is the exact draft order? Then I came to the realization, oh crap, there was draft not trades and all that crap. So it is a mixture of both, but it is mainly what the actual draft, the first 14 are what the draft lottery was. There is that. That is a fact. I didn't deal with the draft night trades because, again, like I said, a lot changes after Kevin Durant gets picked. So after that, history can change. But the main thing that needs to be covered is trading Kevin Garnett and one other player that, again, throughout the course of this, I might switch up to some other teams. That way, players aren't stuck with a certain franchise for a long time. But so, for example, in the 2008 season, Pau Gasol gets traded from the Grizzlies to the Lakers. And if he's stuck with the Grizzlies and he's frustrated, I might switch to the Grizzlies in that future episode. End up trading Pau Gasol to some different team, It's just a wait-and-see situation. But with the Trailblazers drafting Greg Oden, having LaMarcus Aldridge, they don't need Zach Randolph. He gets traded in real life this offseason to the Knicks. I'm changing it up a little bit. And the main reason I'm not trading him exactly to the Knicks is because the exact trade contracts aren't lined up, all that crap. And, I just want to change things up. So, looking at the teams and the suggestions, I've already looked through, and there's a couple that sparked my interest. The Cavaliers. For the longest time, it's talked about LeBron never had any help. He's got a freaking 8. He'd be adding an 89 overall and helping him out. So, I've thought of that. I don't plan on it being to a team. This one was intriguing. I think this is the other one I was intrigued by, but the pick situation might be where we need to think about it. And again, the Nets need a small forward because they're adding a center in Greg Oden. They have Brandon Roy and Greg Oden. Adding Richard Jefferson, we'll see. That was the other team I was intrigued by. But and the Warriors. But we'll come back to that. Now, I also need to think about the trade packages I was intrigued with Kevin Garnett because I don't remember so much. But I'm also trying to send him to a situation where he's paired with another star to compete for a championship because that's what they ended up having with the Celtics. I wouldn't trade him to the. So here's one example. So like the Rockets are going to pop up for like Yao Ming. You're going to want to pair Kevin Garnett with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. So that's why I'm not going to do this trade. The Warriors slightly intrigue me because this is the year after they were the We Believe Warriors. And I have simulated this a handful of times. This team, low-key, is always competing. Now, I, again, wouldn't do this exact trade package, but we'll see. Those two, that, I think I'm going to wait until after the draft to trade Kevin Garnett where there's more offers. But because, again, in real life, Zach Randolph was traded around this time period. We're going to go ahead and do this Zach Randolph trade. That way we can get to Supersonics business. So, I'm going to flip a coin. Heads, he gets traded to the Cavs. Tails, he gets traded to the Nets. Now, let me look one last time at the Nets. Because I like the Nets deal for the Blazers more because, again, they're adding a small forward. And it kind of is a fair trade. Or with the Cavs, I'm trying to help that narrative that LeBron never got any help. He's adding, again, an 89 overall to his team. So, and again, the Blazers don't really need Larry Hughes. We'll wait and see situation. So, that being said, let's flip this coin. And it landed on tails. He's getting traded to the New Jersey Nets. And again, it's very similar location to where he got traded in real life because he got traded to the Knicks. And then he ended up on the Clippers and then obviously, famously, on the Grizzlies. So, hopefully this pick, I don't think it should matter in the grand scheme of things. Come 2009 season, and it does, I will laugh a little bit. So, here is the first historic thing to happen. Now, let's just get to draft night. Let's get to rolling. So, I told y'all there's a handful of things I need to tell y'all. And this one is the one that is funniest. Because obviously, you just can't, in the preset eras, you just can't go to the 2007 season, So you have to go to a shared scenario. And again, I've done 2 to 3 like pre-scenarios of this, pre-walkthroughs, seeing like, oh, could this like mess up something down the line? And then I came to the realization that there is one created by 2K80s that is at the All-Star break. That way, because I'm going to confuse all so much, and I apologize. Because I didn't want to, the easiest way I could have done this is go to the 2007 and 8 season and then just trade everybody to where I needed to go. But again, the hindsight thing, if that happens, it's the whole butterfly effect. That's the whole point of all this. So, the draft night is where this butterfly effect starts, or would start. So, draft night, if a lot of things don't happen, things don't happen. So, that just would have been the easiest way for me to set this up. Instead, I went to the 2K80s. Shout out to them. Thank you to them, because they simulated all of the 2007 season until the All-Star break. That way, I only had like a month to simulate, and then I had to do the draft lottery order. Point being made, I had to do it twice because the first time around it didn't freaking save. That is the point that I'm trying to make here. So, here we are. This is the first big note for the Supersonics. Or technically for the Trailblazers. I'm intrigued by the offers, but obviously we're not accepting any because we know who we are drafting in this situation. And that is Greg Oden. And hopefully, it works out a lot better than it did in real life. And he's not, I will say it now, he is not a bust. It was just a absolutely crappy situation that took place. And then obviously the star of this series, Kevin Durant. Now, here's where it gets crazy, and hopefully it's got me on the Supersonics because I think I still am on the Trailblazers because it's draft night. I might want to work on some other things, but we're gonna go through the first 5 picks till I like start changing things up. So real life, Al Horford got drafted here, but here Jeff Green, who ended up getting drafted 5th and paired with Kevin Durant in real life. The Grizzlies. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I was like, huh? So Mike Conley, shout out to Grizzlies legend, gets drafted to the same team. So is Al Horford going to end up on the Celtics many, many years early? And he does. So I'm glad that I predicted that. So now, again, I am the Supersonics. Now, I'm going to say this. Chris Wilcox, real life, was a good player. Relations is frustrated. I know, because this is the thing about, this is something that real life GMs wish they had, is hindsight. I am not going to trust created players on here. And Chris Wilcox, while he is a real life player, like, he's a created player on here, and I've not had a good history with created players, besides when I drafted Victor Wembanyama on last year, but that's because his stats and everything were juiced to hell. So I will be moving on from Chris Wilcox. Nick Collison, who stayed with the Supersonics / Thunder his whole career, I plan on keeping just to keep that lineage alive. Luke Rittenauer, I don't have to worry about right now because he's a free agent, but I plan on keeping him maybe if something changes. Everybody else, though, you can go. Everybody else, I don't really know you or mess with you. So I'm trying to construct a roster that I can familiarize myself with and like. And the main thing that I need right now is a center who can defend and rebound, because we got 3 great scorers in Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, and Kevin Durant. So, I'm trying to see, I need to go to Trade Finder. If I could get a pick, I might not even really worry about it, because there's one guy who ends up on the Grizzlies and is a center and does everything that I just said. If there's a possibility I could add that guy, I might. But again, this might be a situation where I need to wait until after the draft and during free agency, as I got to burp. So, I don't think I'm really going to get any top picks, or draft picks, I should say. So, we'll just wait it out a little bit longer. But, so last year, I want to talk over a lot of this. I remember last year, I did an Orlando Magic. Oh, crap. This is funny. This is hilarious. I don't know how to draft for them. I'm going to do the funny thing and draft. The funny thing is either one of these two. I'm going to draft Joakim Noah. Him and Kevin Garnett, end up kind of becoming rivals. Not really. Beef. What was I getting at? So I did an Orlando Magic series, and Brandon Roy was not in 2K last year, so I downloaded a custom draft class specifically to draft Brandon Roy, and it was a custom Brandon Roy, and it did not perform live up. It just sucked. This is the best way to put it. I'm trying to be nice. It sucked, as we have a trade. Mech Okor, who I've been seeing a ton on my feed, is getting drafted or traded to the Kings, and I don't know why. I'm talking about the why Mech Okor is on my timeline so much. So Marc Gasol was the guy I was referring to like 2-ish minutes ago. So we might try to do something with Utah a little bit later. I doubt it, as we have back-to-back trades. Tony Allen, who would be a great fit for this. So, yeah, he's getting traded to the Spurs. Who would be a great fit for the Spurs as Yi Jianliang, I'm pretty sure I said that right, is drafted to the Celtics. Thaddeus Young, who ended up in the Sixers in real life. AC Law. I'm glad that we're getting like the real life players and not the custom, because I know there's a ton of custom players in here. So we're getting the real life players drafted first. Eddie Curry traded to the Clippers. I feel Eddie Curry was on the Clippers at some point. So I'm going to go to pick, until I stop recognizing these guys, that's when I'm going to start, because I could simulate at any point, really. We're going to get another trade. We are. Mike Miller. to the Nets, I think. It's either the Nets or Bulls. We'll see. Mike Miller's important for the Grizzlies. I don't know. He obviously ended off with the Grizzlies, so interesting trade there. I think we're going to go to pick 20. I lied. Jared Dudley, who ended up winning a title with the Lakers 13-ish years later. I think if I did the math right. Because he ended up there 2020. And this is 07. So I'm going to sim to a user pick. If this is a recognizable name, or if I could get, if I can get, 2 future seconds, which they're all just going to be swaps. All right, I just might as well draft somebody. Anthony Tolliver, who is a real-life player. Either him or Gary Neal. Who is higher? I think Anthony Tolliver is. So there's that. No, I'm just going to send him to the end. I don't really care who they draft, obviously. So there's that. This is one of the important notes. Dun da da da. Rookie sign-in. I'll be generous. You get a spot today. You don't get a spot today. Dun, da, da, da. So I can also switch off of the Trailblazers, and I'll do that in a minute. Look at this guy. We know this guy. Is that real life? That's like Coach era Ime Udoka. All right, so like I said, bye-bye to the Trailblazers. We'll probably see you at some point. And I probably should just wait until after I trading Kevin Garnett. That way I didn't have to worry about it again. Also wanted to make sure. Yep. Richard Jefferson, Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, LaMarcus Aldridge. All right. So let's get rid of this Kevin Garnett trade situation I keep talking about. They don't really have anybody in this team right now. We might have screwed him over because we're not getting many offers at all. Are we going to keep getting the same teams? I feel like we are. The Hornets, who, again, because I've already previewed this so many times, Hornets end up freaking winning a lot of titles. Obviously not on my watch, but I was simulating when I was, talking about them just now. All right. This is what's going to take all day. When I, start doing this crap, this is what starts taking all day. Because, again, we're just going to keep getting the same teams over and over again. And like I said, I really like the damn Warriors scenario that was presented. All right. We'll come back to that. Now, our main priority, obviously, is Supersonics. Let's bring Luke Ridenour back, who may or may not stay. We'll just see. If we can get an upgrade over him, that'll be the determinant factor. But I'm not against keeping him on the team. So we'll just offer him this. Any of these, I would I need them here. Not really. So moratorium is done. We'll see if I don't think any of these should. So Morris Stoudemire ends up on the Heat a lot earlier than in real life. Don't think any other. Peja ends up on the Sixers. Grant Hill to the Hornets. I don't think any other major changes. All right. Back to Kevin Garnett, that is. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's still the same freaking teams. If I looked at the Kings and helped them speed up they freaking timeline, who do they got on their team? Kevin Martin. I'm not gonna do that to KG. Also, KG is one of the highest rated players in the league. Let's look. He is the 5th highest rated. In real life, also, he almost ended up on the Lakers. I'm not trying to create that monster. And again, that's kind of what happened in real life is that. I think also, worst case scenarios, I just send him to the Celtics for Al Jefferson and Al Horford, the Al duo. That is a wait and see situation. Is there like a team that I'm like, oh my God, that'd be a great fit? I think I'm going to send him to Phoenix. I know we're going to have to face them at some point, but Phoenix literally just lost to Amari Stoudemire. So help them out. Forgot about that. They really, oh boy. So trying to help Phoenix out. Here's the thing also. Teams only want to give up like one first round pick because in real life, picks were involved in the Kevin Garnett trade. I don't even know. Why wouldn't it? Oh my God, they're going to say he got signed. Okay. I don't even think I really could send him to Phoenix. Money wise, it ain't going to line up. Sorry, Phoenix. Y'all lost Stoudemire and ain't replacing him. Again, let me just, if this Celtics thing works, you know. All right, let me change this. I hate this on here. This also would help with the other trade offers, I forgot. So, I have the stipend rule off for now. I'll cut that back on at some point. Rookie signing, recently traded, recently signed. That stuff, sometimes in real life it matters. A majority of the time it don't. Just being honest. So, now we have 3 more offers. Hilarious. Not that didn't help us at all. Going back, so Phoenix, Barbosa. I don't even really need. I don't think. Let's. I was in Trade Finder. Phoenix is gonna like literally have to. They're gonna be in a very crappy situation. Barbosa and Aaron Gray, Kevin Garnett. Y'all's pick this year. Again, this is where it's look. If I just did this straight up, probably would go through. But you know, I'm trying to be generous to Minnesota as well. I'm gonna include these seconds that they're gonna say no. They value somebody too much. Okay, never mind. There we go. So Kevin Garnett is a Phoenix Sun. Will that come back to haunt me? Potentially. And again, down the line, depending on what happens with the Celtics, might have to do the same with Paul Pierce. Might have to do the same with Pau Gasol. There's a couple scenarios that we will have to wait and see about. But now, we're back with our main priority, and that is the Supersonics. So our team right now, we have a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to move Rashard Lewis to power forward. Slash small forward. I already kind of have like the next 5 years if everything goes according to me, I kind of already got the next 5 years mapped up timeline wise. But again, that might not be the case. It's a wait and see situation. So, like I said, I like Chris Wilcox. I don't like that he's a creative player because, you know, I have bad history with him. So, the main thing we need right now is a center. If I can improve over Luke Ridnour, I will. But if I got to keep him, I'm not against it. I'm not against this, but Lou Will, who has predominantly been a six-man in his career, I don't know how I'd feel about starting. There's Amos's guy, Deshaun Stevenson. There's Rashard Bell, who we were just talking about. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, shout out. As I've literally gotten. So, Harrison Varejao is a potential, but it's just like, I'm kind of messing up. I don't really need to do 2-for-1 swaps, especially when these are two of my higher rated guys. Chris Wilcox. I think I pushed the freaking button. All right. You get a high pick. Varejao, who overall wise is lower. I also really Jazz. Back to the Jazz. The Jazz had Marc Gasol. Could I straight up? Probably not. We will. All right. This is potential here. I'm willing to give up seconds. I very rarely, if ever, use seconds. All right. I'm willing to do this with Chris Wilcox. Because while I'm thinking of it. Marc Gasol did get drafted 10th on here. This and all of our seconds. If not, we'll have to move on. If this is hurting y'all's head like it's hurting mine, I apologize. Okay. So if I just trade Finder for Marc Gasol as well, I forgot it's probably the easier route. Low key. Jazz kind of doing good. Okay. Who? Shaq. That'd be funny. I don't really. This is one of the crazy things to say. I don't really need Shaq. You know, this is not Shaq of Lakers era. Y'all know how I said I like kind of have mapped out what I want to happen. I don't remember what I had mapped out for a center position, if I'm just being honest. So, look at free agents that are available that could help the team. Is Eddie Jones? It is. I'd like Eddie Jones on the team, if I'm just being honest, but he's not the top priority. Theo Ratliff. I'm not against adding Eddie Jones as our bench. All right, I'm not even really worried. Let's do these trades first before we do free agents. Luke Ridnour again. I'll tell y'all now, there's going to be a lot of the same old, but y'all kind of going through my thought process. Low key, let's just go back and do. I'm trying everything to get Marc Gasol. That's a top priority. Tyson Chandler is kind of like would be a great option as well. Let's just go for. I also did forget that they traded a core for Gasol. I'm also going in the wrong direction. Dun, 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 dun. It's just like, look at him. He's literally the lowest rated player on their team. Right now, at least. I don't want to give up a first. That is, again, the issue here. I'm fairly certain Daquan Cook ends up on the Thunder or Supersonics / Thunder at some point. Again, I don't want to get in the habit of offering first round picks, but because I want to very much speed up the process. And if this goes through, I wouldn't be upset about it. Okay, obviously it doesn't. I need a center. Dang it. Chris Wilcox, Johan Petra. I'm pretty sure I just said John Petra a second ago. Varejao and a first. I'm all right with Varejao. Again, very similar, but at least Varejao is like a real life added by 2K, not a created player. So I think this is the way to go. And getting the first round pick comes in. And I'm going to offer the same package as well to the Jazz. That way, because I'm getting an extra pick. So, worst case scenario, I'm all right with having Varejao on the team again. So I'm going to offer this to the Jazz. If it goes through, W. If not, It's not an L. It's an M, and that's in the middle. So Marc Gasol, Anderson, Varejao. Now, of course, the dang money don't add up, so they're gonna be upset with this. If I could also, I was gonna try to add Shareef Abdul-Rahim to the team. I don't need him because I have Nick Collison and Rashard Lewis. If I could put him at small forward, I would. I just don't think that's going to be able to happen. Okay. This extra pick in the 2 seconds is the most I'd be willing to give up. So I already can tell this ain't going to happen, though. There's that. So if I just do Varejao, I forgot about Earl Watson being on our team. I didn't really look through our roster after Luke Ridnour. It has to be a significant upgrade. So there is a definitive point guard upgrade that I want, and I'll tell y'all it right now, is Jason Terry and Eric Dampier. Low-key, kind of cook. But look, I want to pair him with our main three. I don't, And I forgot what I did in the, other test runs that I did to end up with Terry on the team. But I did at some point. So, Jason Terry and Eric Dampier to be our backup center. Luke Ridnour, Robert Swift. Money-wise, okay. Oh, my God. Of course, we ain't going to be there. Because, again, all right. Let's go sign some guys. So, people need to be signing right now are worst case scenario. If I can't trade them, I'd be willing to play them, guys. So, the other thing, there's one guy I really want on the team, and I've already seen him in the trade finder a handful of times, to be a 6-man, and that is Kyle Korver. And if I can give up the least amount for him, I will. Also, I've always thought this. I have said it to several people, and they don't see it. I've always thought Kyle Korver, low-key, kind of looks like Jeff Hardy. So if this is a fair this, I don't really think I was ever going to use Earl Watson in the package. So Kyle Korver, I really want on the team. Thank you, Philadelphia, for not making that so damn difficult compared to these other teams. So now, also forgot about Anthony Tolliver already. I have a point guard in Luke Ridnour / So, the definitives. Shooting guard, Allen and Korver. Small forward definitive, Durant. Power forward definitive is Rashard Lewis and Nick Collison. Center, blank / Varejao. Let's try to sign a center right now who could either start or be in a trade. Theo Ratliff is probably the best option, but he's also the oldest option. The second oldest option, because I do see Alonzo Mourning at the very, very bottom. But I'm willing to offer him a contract. Or I feel Alonzo, is a bit of a DTA. No, I just messed that up. Don't trust. I said DTA as in don't trust, like Stone Cold, but DTA stands for don't trust anybody. I guess that fits still. Back to the Mavericks. And really trying to upgrade real quick. Because Jason Terry, like I said, is the definitive point guard that I want. Besides drafting wise. Again, I'm going to confuse the hell out of y'all in this series. So Luke Ridnour. Theo Ratliff now. Robert Swift. And Anthony Tolliver. Bro, why does the money not add up? Did I add somebody else the last time? Wilkins, I think. Bro, how's this money not adding up? Okay, now it is. Okay, if I offer this freaking extra pick that I got, we should, be saving a lot of time. Please just accept this. Please just accept this. Of course not. Hooray. So if I do Luke Ridnour, Damon Wilkins, and this pick, we should get something good. IMO. I've also got to remember not to click on the roster because then I'm just going to have to go through the whole thing. Oh, boy. I just realized we only got 4 freaking offers. If I take the pick off, which surprisingly, I'm pretty sure I get more offers for this without the pick. I don't understand that logic. That's a little bit of a crazy logic. If I didn't just trade for Kyle Korver, this would be a great trade. And to be honest, I might just, if I could do Damon Wilkins for Gortat, I will. And then if I could add the others later that I want, I'll just have to update y'all. All right, so changing this up. Because y'all have JJ Redick, y'all have Jameer Nelson. So this is a fair trade, I feel. And then I can add. All right, they want to pick. I ain't going to do that. I will give y'all these later seconds. Y'all want 2 extra seconds and then Keelan Doolin. I'm just going to trade Doolin for more seconds. I am willing to have Gortat on the team. So, that being said, though, everything is trying to build up. So, I also keep trying to add Eric Dampier. It's not really needed now that I have Gortat, even though his veteran presence would be appreciated. Also, y'all don't really need Jason Terry. Y'all got Devin Harris. IMO. So, trying this one last time. To be fair, they also don't really need Luke Ridnour. If, from my math that I'm trying to provide. Luke Ridnour. Swift. One more. Is it Theo Ratliff? Low-key, this might go through. Without no picks being involved, but I also forgot. I'm willing to include this pick, and then anybody else that is signed or traded for, we're trading for more picks, because I gave up a lot of draft capital, as they would say. Y'all still ain't fucking interested. Keelan Doolin, please be the... All right, thank you. So, Anthony Tolliver, I like you in real life. You can trade for picks. So, right now, we essentially just need a backup point guard. And backup point guard and backup small forward. Oh, boy, why did... So, I'm going to sign those now. Steve Francis, I don't know if he would like a backup point guard role. But, you're going to have to end up taking it. Keith Van Horn. I'm going to hope he's not too old for us, but I'm willing to add Keith Van Horn. Also should look for a power forward that could be potential. Juwan Howard, who was literally just the second highest rated player, third highest rated player on the Mavs. And I was a very big fan of his when he was on the Heat back in the day. And I know that was the weirdest thing I just said. It was when I learned about the Fab Five documentary, so that is why I specifically just singled out the Heat days. Who is offered Steve Francis? The Warriors. I'll offer him as well because, like I said, again, he's kind of the best option. If he don't accept, I'm not against it. So, Juwan Howard, we have. Steve Francis is going to the Warriors. I understand. Keith Van Horn. So, now this is where, I'm kind of hustling a little bit. I'm going to start signing guys that I'll end up trading for picks and draft assets, I should say. I need one third string center. Who's the youngest op? Who is the most reliable? I don't think Alonzo Mourning will. The only reason I'm not going to offer is Alonzo Mourning is A, he is very old, and B, I don't think he would want to come here. Bo Outlaw. All right, the same thing I just said about Alonzo, but I just saw Steve Blake. That's in real life. He looks like one of the guys from House of Pain, the main guy, I guess. I couldn't tell you anything else about the House of Pain. All right, so now back to what I said. So we have a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, a power forward, a center. Always don't have a point guard. LOL. We need a point guard. We have a shooting guard. We have 2 options at small forward. That again, if I end up trading these guys, I'll end up telling y'all like off screen. But for now, they're staying. Small forward, power forward, Nick Collison, like I said, is staying center. So, to wrap this up, because this already went 41 minutes, and then the next episode, we'll start playing. Well, I want to at least like go to player regression. So, we need to sign a point guard, like I said. Who is the best option here? Or we can just trade one of these guys. Do I trade? I think I can rely on Keith Van Horn a little bit more than Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard also looks a little bit like Will Smith in that picture. Point guard. A same level overall point guard, preferably. Am I still controlling the Timberwolves? I don't think I am, because this is the best trade package we just got offered. Oh, I'm going to be generous to them because they just got that pick. I'm not even going to try to finesse them. So if I get the same offers for Keith Van Horn, two future first-round picks, not that against. And then at some point we might be able to offer those first for a lot of seconds. Just overthinking out loud. Anthony Tolliver, I apologize. I wasn't really going to use it. So Juwan Howard, you get to stay because we traded Keith Van Horn. Still need a point guard, but now I don't have anybody I could trade for the point guard. Now I have to sign one. If I go over here, Derek Fisher, do we have enough? He ain't going to accept. He's going to be upset. Already did. Speedy Claxton. I don't know why. Is he not an option on the other one? Or am I just blind? Derek Anderson. Ron Mercer. He's a custom guy I don't trust, like I said. Go for Speedy Claxton. Very worried about our defense overall team-wise. I forgot about Bo Outlaw. So, I'm kind of also hoping that I could just like scroll down and see like undrafted guys, real life guys, and like, oh my god, I could steal them. But it doesn't look like it at the moment. Charles Smith. All right. That should do it for this episode, though. If I could sign Corliss Williamson. I kept eye on him. I did feel like playing a game. Any other time I would. But, this was kind of a long-ass process. And, I don't know if y'all would really be interested in a game in this video. Save it for next. Speedy Claxton and Juwan Howard for a backup point guard. Earl Watson, who I'm pretty sure we had at some point. Well, we obviously did. It has to be like somebody I'm like, oh my god, I can get, but I don't see that at the moment. So we should Bobby Simmons is there. Do I do it? Do I do it? I'll wait and think about it. So, for now, our team is at point guard Jason Terry, at shooting guard Ray Allen, at small forward in his rookie season Kevin Durant, at power forward Rashard Lewis, point guard Speedy Claxton. I freaking messed up because he's a 75 now. At shooting guard Kyle Korver, at small forward Juwan Howard or Corliss Williamson. It's a wait and see situation. Backup power forward Nick Collison, and at backup center Marshawn Gortat. I also feel like I skipped over Andrews Vaershaw because I don't remember looking at him. So again, this is the first episode of hopefully many. This is a little bit longer than I anticipated. So that's why I'm wrapping it up here. Next time around, you shall see me playing. I feel I have definitely more stories to tell that I didn't get to here. So thank you for watching this. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.